real world example.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
When I've been
Congratulations.
seeing her for a year. Jennifer, thank you for being my girlfriend. We work out together all the time.
Yeah.
Wonderful thing we do. Strength training, lifting heavy stuff, kettlebells, all that stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Fun. Phil for you. I like to think.
Play. You were talking about play earlier.
It is play.
Yeah.
We goof off with other people there. And it's January. It's now January 2026. The gym is flush with folks with New Year's resolutions.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's new faces in our gym classes because folks have aspirations for fitness. And I hope that they realize those. But there's new people to talk to, new things that can happen. I've kind of got my little community of guys that want to pretend to lift heavy stuff or grunt or whatever we do, you know, lift the heavy stuff, whatever. And my partner, as I'm doing this and interacting with my community, I observe her speaking to a man, which isn't uncommon. Happens all the time.
There's a lot of men in the gym, yeah.
There's men in the gym. There's women in the gym. I speak to women. I speak to men. She speaks to women. It's like we speak to the people in the gym. I don't know what happened, but when we left, I think I hugged her a little tighter, or I kissed her, or maybe I touched her in the gym a little bit more. I noticed some behavior.
Claiming her. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Something was happening there that I was kind of aware of. Because I've reached some level of awareness.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that. maybe energetically. I'm like, this one's mine.
Yeah.
But the reason your example is so spot on, or it resonates with me, when we left the gym, she went home. I did the abs and glutes class, which was an extra 30 minutes. When I left, I sent her an emoji, a kiss emoji. I think I just needed a little validation or some care, or some expression that we were okay and that, you know, we're still a good connect. We're still a good relationship. I don't know. I needed some validation, probably. I was feeling insecure.
A little insecure.
I felt insecure and anxious.
Maybe this guy was lifting heavier weights.
He was attractive too.
Okay.
He was a young guy. He was lifting heavy weights. He's attractive.
Okay.
I thought, well, this old dog in here, you know, lifting the old dog stuff. It's silly.
How did she respond?
So she didn't respond to the text for a while.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And I started anxious checking my phone. I didn't mutter around the thing, but that probably was happening on the inside. I started thinking, like, what is she doing? What's going on? Normally, our pattern of behavior is I'll send a kiss emoji and she'll send one of the faces with the hearts around the face.
Nice.
Or a hug emoji, you know?
Yeah.
We've got a pattern of behavior.
Good.
And I think
Yeah.
humans are
That's how you sort of tend the relationship.
Yes.
You've got your shared language of reassurance and connecting and
yes.
responding to bids.
Yes. It's a way of me saying, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
You're in my life always.
Yeah.
And when you come up in my mind, when I want to connect with you, I'll send that emoji. She'll send something back. And I think as Homo sapiens, as humans, pattern recognition is really important to us.
Yeah.
We had to learn to recognize, what's a leopard versus what is swaying grass.
Yes, yes.
And that same power of pattern recognition is now in 2026 being applied to this text message exchange.
Yes, yes.
And she doesn't respond. And I'm thinking like, she had to have responded. I'm like restarting the phone, thinking, maybe it just didn't come through.
Yeah.
I'm doing some things to distract myself in what I think are healthy ways. Some of them probably not that healthy, like doom scrolling, like just scrolling through the thing or finding a movie to watch.
Yeah.
And eventually I messaged her and I said, I'm feeling some kind of way. I sent that kiss emoji hours ago and you haven't responded. And I think this will be a good segue into our next topic. As soon as I sent that text, I felt so much shame. So much shame. And she called like almost immediately. She didn't mean to not. She thought the emoji that I sent was in response to the last thing that she had sent because it was kind of in close proximity. She thought it was like the end of a conversation handshake.
Yeah, the
not
period.
the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't answer the phone.
Yeah. Oh.
So she didn't get that bid for connection. I think I texted her back like, hey, it's getting late. I'm feeling kind of emotionally washed. I'm going to go to bed, but I feel shame. I try to tell her what's up for me.
Yeah.
But the shame, I avoided that bid for connection, that thing that I was wanting.
Yeah. What was the thought that went with the shame about having
I
told
shouldn't
her?
be insecure.
Okay.
I shouldn't think all these ways.
Okay.
I shouldn't.
Something's wrong with me.
Yeah. I shouldn't be insecure. I shouldn't anxious check. I should be okay. I shouldn't worry about my girlfriend talking to men at the gym. Like what kind of
Right. We always look out for those should words, right?
Yeah, we should on ourselves.
Right. Because that's the opposite of radical acceptance of what is.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm feeling insecure. And so one way to challenge that shame, let's say you were still feeling it and we were talking, is to remind you that humans are designed to have some hypervigilance around the security of their attachment relationship.
Yep.
Because that's survival. We think about back in the day when we were more primitive, if humans didn't stick together, they would die.
Yeah. Ostracization was a life-threatening.
Right. Particularly if there wasn't a baby. So jealousy and some hypervigilance, some awareness, was a way to stay safe, was to make sure that your partner wasn't straying, to make sure that your genes would continue, that your offspring would survive because the parents would stay together so that their odds of survival were greater. So for one thing, normalizing your response.
Yeah.
You're human.
Yeah.
You're in an attachment relationship.
I care about it. It matters to me.
It matters to you. And there's vulnerability. And that's uncomfortable, right? It's scary. All righty. And so, you had enough awareness to notice that something was going on. And rather than, spiral into all these stories about what was happening, you actually reached out to your partner. So that was a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We reach toward our partner. We tell them what's going on, right? We share our internal experiences.
Yeah.
That build, and it's an invitation. And if you've chosen a partner who's capable of responding well, which it sounds that you have, this girlfriend is caring and responsive, then it's a good move. You did a very pro-relationship behavior.
But
what happened was being emotionally vulnerable in that situation was probably a cue, like that loud noise out on the street for the combat veteran.
Something bad's going to happen.
You have a protector, a defense, who tells you, don't be vulnerable. Something bad's going to happen.
When she calls it, I'm going to get it, or it's not going to be good, or
right, and that's
scary. Or,
this is dangerous. You shouldn't do this, right? And we're not without going into your whole childhood, right? Or we can guess that there was some ways. You're a male in the U.S. Right there, you've been socialized not to be vulnerable. Okay,
right.
So just that alone could explain, if nothing else, right, why there might be shame about vulnerability, because men are socialized to not be vulnerable. Right?
Right.
So a boy who cries on the playground, ooh, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be ridiculed. Not a good look.
Tidy it up, Billy.
Yeah. And so, wow, you overcame, so much socialization and who knows what else to actually reach out to your girlfriend and tell her that you were having some uncomfortable feelings.
Feeling some kind of way.
Yeah. But then you had a cue that took over.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. And
then in that moment, the best you could do was kind of shut down and self-soothe and go to sleep, and you shut her out. And that wasn't necessarily a pro-relationship behavior. But the good news is we don't have to be perfect. We can get flooded by our things. We can have, but there's two people. If the other person can reach out and be kind and not blame us or keep score, or if you can, The most important thing is when there's a rupture in a relationship like that, that would be described as a rupture. You had these uncomfortable feelings, you reached out, and she reached out to you, but then you shut her down. You didn't respond.
Yeah.
The most important thing isn't that you don't have ruptures. It's impossible not to have some sort of ruptures from time to time in relationships. And in fact, it makes the relationship stronger. We can talk about that if you're interested.
Yeah, we can. I'd love to.
Yeah. So
We're about to talk about repairs, aren't we?
Yes. And rupture and repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be able to talk about that. But the what matters is that you have a repair.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, attachments are formed over a series of ruptures and repairs.